Hey, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day, a blessed day, and getting 1% better than yesterday, and breaking free from anything that's holding you back from having the best day ever and becoming the best version of yourself. I'm loving the journey. Every day is a chance, an opportunity to get better. We can find opportunities in every moment to get better, and it's all about finding them and appreciating the process. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling inspired. I'm liking these topics. Can't wait to share them with you. I want to talk a little bit about simplicity, and that has been on my mind heavy lately. Simplicity. I found 3 Bible verses that really spoke to me, reassured me about that. I also want to talk about why I purposely, intentionally choose to live more of a boring lifestyle nowadays, and how that's just fine with me. And others might call it boring, but to me, I can't get. I'm having so much fun. I can't get it all in one day, and I've set up a life that I don't need to escape from, and that's plenty fine for me. I then want to discuss John Lennon's song "Watching the Wheels," and that is written by obviously a former Beatle who took some time off, who took a break, stepped out of the game and watched the wheels go round and round. And that could be the universe, that could be time, life itself, and just watching the wheels is that's fine. That if that's what you want to do, that's fine. And I think it's a beautiful song, and I can sort of relate to it. And I hope that you can too. But before that, I'll get into a few things. I made $278 last week with Instacart and Spark. A little bit short of my $300 goal, but I tried. I got out there. As you guys know, the kids were home all week. Wife was home. We did a mini 2-day vacation, so I did lose some time. But I'm still pretty proud I got up to $278. I made $35 today on my technically day off, so I wasn't stressing that too much. We're going to go see the new Mario movie tonight. I'm looking forward to that, to bringing the kids there. They know of Mario, but of course, being my age of 43, I was playing the regular NES in like 1988. So I know Super Mario 1, 2, and 3, and a little bit of Mario Kart. I want to show you guys 2 new signs that I got. Signs as in advertising signs. And this has sort of refocused me on reselling. I'm going to cut out of this video shortly to show you those 2 signs. It should tell you what I paid for them and what I hope to make. And it has just reinvigorated me on seeing how much stuff that I can flip, because it's something that I enjoy. Having an eye to find something, selling it for a profit is so much fun for me. So I'll show you those 2 signs, and hopefully I'll be able to make a profit off it. Okay, so this is the first sign that I bought. Schmidt's Beer of Philadelphia. Take Schmidt's home. It's not too heavy. I'll be able to ship this guy, assuming that I can find a box. Got the cord down there. Little light switch. Where is she? There you go, light switch. I paid $50 for this. The guy wanted $100. I paid $50. This is selling online multiple times for $200. So, hey, I could make, even if I make $100 on this, I'd be extremely happy. Then go out to my garage, which is a complete mess because I have to get the spring stuff out of there, and there's just some excess junk. I paid $70 for this Pepsi sign. I'm hoping to at least double my money. That guy right there. I think it's from the 80s. Wimps Inn. I think somewhere near St. Lawrence, New York. Pretty big boy. I'm going to try to get $150 for that. And even if I make $100, I'll still take $30 all day long. And also just refocused on longevity and health and fitness. And I said I wanted to start making some more videos, some different topics on the channel. Trying to figure out if Tuesdays are the best day for that, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Saturdays and Sundays. One day I want to just dedicate to health. So it's not so jarring when I have these talks, which I love. And then the next day it's, all right, he's working out. Or the next day it's, he's looking up stuff on eBay, because reselling is such a big part of my life. Maybe if I had a dedicated day for some of that stuff. I don't know. We'll see what works. But I'm ready. I'm finally ready. But to dig into the topics for today, simplicity. I love these 3 Bible verses that I'll get into right now. The first is Corinthians 14:33. It says, "For God is not a God of confusion, but a God of peace." And I underlined peace and I underlined confusion. And what's the takeaway from that? I think it's that we should all reflect more peace. We should all reflect God in our life, not of confusion, but of peace. And how can we bring more peace into our lives? We can accept the things we cannot change. We can have the courage to change what we can. We can have the wisdom to know the difference. We can forgive. We can live in the present moment, moment by moment. We can journal. We can be out in nature. We cannot bicker. We can stop fighting. And I think those are all good, reassuring ways to eliminate the confusion and the distraction and just focus on God and simplicity. And speaking of nature, I heard this thing like to spend 1 hour outside each day in nature. Every day is an opportunity, no matter if hot, cold, rain. I wonder, is my Instacarting, would that count? Sometimes in my head I talk myself into that's counting for some cardio, and I do believe it is. And of course I'm not outside the whole time, so maybe that wouldn't count. Now that I think about it more, I think it would count more as cardio than as being outside technically. But I think I want to start doing that too. So just spending more time outside, rain or shine. And that I think will improve my health and improve my discipline. The second Bible verse I want to talk about today is Timothy 6, verse 6 and 7. It says, "But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we are brought nothing into the world, and we cannot take anything out of the world." I love that. What a good reminder, right? Contentment is great gain. Being satisfied with what we have, not seeking external validation. You know, it's plain to see, but we don't always remember it, I guess, when we're gathering our objects and our things that we think are going to make us happy or that we think are going to define us or give us some meaning. But we came here with nothing and we're going out with nothing. So I think that is a really good reminder. And that being said, contentment, being content with what you have, comes great gain. And then finally, John 6:35 says, Jesus said unto them, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall not hunger," I underlined, "and whoever believes in me shall never thirst. I am the bread of life." So he's feeding you. He's feeding your soul. He's feeding your life. And it's not the news feed. It's not the Twitter feed. It's not the Instagram feed. It's the bread of life, not to hunger or to thirst. And what could we hunger for and what could we thirst for? But if we believe in God and we take a simple path to contentment, a simple path of freedom, of not conforming to the things of this world, I think our hunger and our thirst and our desire will not only be lessened, but if you follow this, it will be extinguished, that we shall not hunger or thirst. So I think that's really good, because I do hunger and thirst from time to time. I think it's only natural human nature. And with practice, that doesn't overtake me like I think it used to, which I'll kind of talk about with a bit on the next subject. But overall, I don't hunger and I don't really thirst for much. And I'd like to think that being on this path of freedom, not conforming to the world, and having a blessed outlook on the world and filled with the Holy Spirit, that I will hunger and thirst even less and less for things in the future. And with that change can benefit so many areas of our life. It can bring more peace, it can bring more space, it can bring more money, it can bring more time, it can bring less distraction, less confusion, less anxiety. So I thought those 3 verses on simplicity were just perfect way to start this week. And the next thing I'll get into is why I purposely choose to live a boring life, but it's not so boring to me. And I did have to learn the hard way on some of these topics. Okay, so a lot going on in this topic, and I think there's a lot of freedom that comes with living intentionally. And again, I think that's also something that's maybe not the most exciting thing to do, to live intentionally with how and where and what you're doing for your work. Living intentionally with who you're starting a family with and how you're spending time with them, what you're doing for play, what you're doing for hustle, if any, what you're doing for fun, what you're doing to relax, to live intentionally with all those things. After some trial and error, after being a late bloomer, after maybe not living with courage or clarity, of not being mindful or not being aware and numbing many feelings, I've come to the conclusion that this is a much better lifestyle for me. It doesn't have to be for everybody, that's for sure, but I think that's the trick to life, maybe, is to find what works for you. And there's trial and error, and there's also things that can change. Some people might like to get up and meditate for 20 minutes right the first thing in the day, and some people need to just get going, and whatever works necessarily for you. But for me, I am a homebody, perhaps introverted in some ways, but an introvert who has 270 YouTube videos and waits on the public of the city that I live in, and has written probably 100 songs that I'd like to play for people, and but at the end of the day, I'm happy right here. I'm happy in my home, and not only that, I'm happy soberly in my home, not waking up with a hangover, excited to start the day, excited for the moment that I'm in. I could never get it all in what I want to do today. What do I enjoy? Listing things for sale, making these videos, researching things to sell, going out and trying to find things to sell, reading, journaling. Want to bring more exercise into my life, and stretching and preparing healthy meals. And very much of my life is the same, even professionally and even during the day. My weeks and days tend to look the same with different little adventures in them, but this is kind of like the life that I've built. The movies tonight is something quite different, but my work days, I wear the same thing to work every day, exact same thing. My haircut's the same every day, same glasses. Every week I start at 0, and I have to wait on these customers who come in, and we set up the restaurant the same way. We take it down the same way. The specials are a little different and the people change, but it's the same, core of people. And then I go home. I do the same thing. I get up, bring the kids to school. When I'm off, we go on our little adventures and we do stuff around the house, but, we kind of wind down the day the same way. And that's fine for me. I think that must be, I do like some sense of routine. I'm very fulfilled by it. I've built a life that I do not need to escape from. And it doesn't take much to make me happy. I think I have a low barrier for happiness, which I think is key. I remember, I would laugh at a lot of my friends' jokes, and I remember one friend was just like, you laugh at anything, this or that, and I don't know, I guess I find it funny. And then at work, when they want me to try something, well, Jay's never going to say it's not good, because I always like what I'm trying. So I guess a pretty low barrier to happiness. I'm just happy today after this video. I'm super thrilled to maybe go clean out the garage a little bit, as you guys are going to have probably seen already when I edit it into the video. The garage is a mess. I'm looking forward to cleaning the car tomorrow. I look for, like, my whole morning's a game with Instacart and Spark. Like, how much can I make and how quick can I make it? And all right, I want to get to this certain dollar amount, and I even want to gamify it more and make more videos dealing with it, and hopefully inspire more people and see if I can make $500 in a week, $100 in a day 5 times. I think I might try that this week. Happiness doesn't need to be pursued, at least with money. I do think happiness not necessarily needs to be pursued. I do think it needs to be worked on through awareness, mindfulness, gratitude, courage and clarity, flexing that happiness muscle, smiling, the little things, focusing. I do think happiness needs to be worked on, but I don't necessarily think it needs to be pursued or bought. And, I think a lot of social media can make you feel bad if you try to live that life. Social media heroes and celebrities, and the need to upgrade your lifestyle, and you're not cool if you just lead a boring and average life. And people trying to present their lives either in a highlighted way or better than it actually is, whether it's your relationship or your finances or how content you are with your life. And it's everyone else's. That's not for me. I think I was at that point for a while, whether it was trying to impress on social media through photos of me or validation of photos through my kids, the clothes that I would buy. This is not necessarily social media stuff. The collections that I thought I needed to have, the need to travel the world. I've traveled some, and I'll travel a little bit more, but I'm also, that doesn't drive me. And the fact that it doesn't drive me, that's okay. That your bank account has to equal your self-worth. That I wouldn't have to used to go out multiple days a week because that's exciting, right? I was never any happier doing that stuff. In fact, I was probably less happier. Those were not my dreams. I still dream, and I think that I thought of my senior quote, which I should probably edit in a picture of, which is John Lennon's line that says, "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one." That was my senior quote. Cool J. Hippie J, maybe at the time, getting into the Beatles, Dylan. And funny that I would choose a Lennon solo song, but you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. And I know that this community is here, and there's several others who still have dreams of better themselves. What dreams would I have? If we were ever to move, I think it would be cool to have a yard that no other house could see. That's cool. I think about maybe shortening the winter, having some kind of place down south. I would like to explore a bit of the world with the kids, whether it's in the U.S. or abroad. Dreams of giving them the best life that I can. But, everything is good right now. Today is going to be a great day, a boring day. Just me here, right? Not doing much else. I'm going to relax before the kids come home after this, clean out the garage, go to a movie, get home, lay on the couch, watch a show with the wife, and then go to bed and be ready to do it all over again and think about all the stuff that I didn't even have a chance to get in, and I'll be excited to chip away at that stuff and get out and side hustle and work on myself and try to be happier, healthier, and freer. And that kind of ties into the last topic for today is the song Watching the Wheels by John Lennon. People say I'm crazy, doing what I'm doing. Well, they give me all kinds of warnings to save me from ruin. tell them that I'm okay, well, they look at me kinda strange. Surely you're not happy now, you no longer play the game. People say I'm lazy, dreaming my life away. Well, they give me all kinds of advice designed to enlighten me. I tell them that I'm doing fine, watching shadows on the wall. Don't you miss the big time, boy, you're no longer on the ball. I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round. I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round. I really love to watch them roll. No longer riding on the merry-go-round. I just had to let it go.